Kalispera, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on stage, exploring a topic that truly shapes meaningful travel, how design, a sense of place, and local culture come together to create real experience. As someone who has spent years working on how hospitality can stay rooted in its surroundings while looking to the future, I'm especially excited for this conversation. And I'm even happier to share this stage with someone I know very well and deeply respect. Please join me in welcoming a visionary in global hospitality, a leader who has helped what design-driven, community-connected hotels can look like around the world, Stijn Oyen, Managing Director of Design Hotels. Stijn, welcome to Athens and Greece Talks.
Ευχαριστώ, Kάλια. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with all of you this morning. Kalimera, Kalispera. I guess it's still a bit early for Yamas, but I know we're sitting between you and lunch, so we'll make this as energetic as possible. Thank you, Kάλια.
Stijn, we would like to know more about you, who you are, and also a little more of what Design Hotels is.
Absolutely. Let me start with Design Hotels. So, Design Hotels is a global collection of now well over 300 member hotels, of which just over 200 sit in Europe, and then the rest is divided in the other continents. And we're really this collection of independent-minded boutique hotels, driven by what we call the original, a visionary, someone who has a vision, and that is really what makes every project so special. So we kind of try to be a one-stop shop for these amazing projects and help everyone out on commercial service, on content, on the inspirational part. And then as to for myself, well, I actually grew up in a little city in Belgium. I don't know where it comes from. We're not from a family of hospitality or chefs, but I always wanted to be a chef. So every tile at my mom's place was a little fire for me, and I was cooking away. So I started cooking in a 2-star Michelin restaurant which had a few rooms connected to it. And from there, I turned into hotels and kind of never looked back. Operated some lifestyle hotels, luxury hotels as GM, and some kind of like white glove luxury hotels, if I can call that way, and then joined the amazing community of Design Hotels just over 2 years ago.
Obviously, we are here today to speak about Design Hotels' relationship to Greece, and that's a really deep, solid relationship we want to hear more about.
Yeah, it's a long-standing love story, I would say, that goes on for more than 20 years. Actually, our first member hotel joined in 2003. It was a beautiful project here in Athens called Semiramis, very forward-looking back in the day and still now. And in the meantime, we've actually grown not only in Athens but also out of Athens on the mainland with 6 different locations. We're present on 7 of the beautiful islands, and we're just under 30 members now here in Greece, and actually together with Mexico and Italy, it's our best represented country within Design Hotels, which obviously goes back to the amazing hospitality that Greece stands for. And actually, out of those, 2 of them two stunning properties sit with the Empiria group, and I think we might have a little bit of news to share in that sense, right, Kάλια?
Indeed. The reason we know each other very well all these years in hospitality is because we have the luck to work together. Empiria Group has hotels with Design Hotels, Historia in Santorini, Parilio in Paros, and soon our new hotel in Milos. So we're very happy that you deeply understand Greek hospitality. You spoke a lot about Greek hospitality. Do you really know the essence of it? What can you think Greek hospitality is?
Well, I think what out of many things that we see, I think what makes it so special is that there are so many family-owned businesses and projects, and we see them come from generation through generation. Since we were founded in '93, we now see kind of the third generation stepping in, and I think we always see that embedded in the Greek culture is respect, is generosity, but without the expectation of getting something in return for it, and it's really receiving people with open arms, wanting to make people feel special and at home, and I believe actually there's a Greek word that I haven't found any translation for that kind of sums that up very, very nicely, and it's philotemo. Philotemo. Better? Good.
Very well said.
I'm still doing some fine tuning on my Greek pronunciation, and I think if I can maybe just Kálya quickly connect it to we hosted our members conference 2 weeks ago in the beautiful South Tyrol in Italy. And our main speaker was a guy called Will Guidara. And if you haven't read his book, which is called Unreasonable Hospitality, I can advise you to do so. It's really a great read. And he kind of inspired us, and he exactly, it exactly connects to what I see with Greek hospitality. And he has actually a simple kind of rule for it, and it's the 95-5. So you kind of run your business because we're all in this. It's a business. We're all in this for a business, and you keep kind of you have your control mechanisms, etc., and you run your business. But it's the other 5% where you really bring the magic to life, and it's a shame that the American ambassador is not with us anymore, because actually I have I think a very suitable example of it, and he mentions it, and it's one that really, I know we've both spoken of it, that really resonates with me, and it's so Will Guidara is the guy that brought 11 Madison Park to the #1 of the 50 best restaurants in the world under his visionary leadership, and he brings these examples of bringing the magic to life, and there's this one night where he's talking about that they had a group of London-based gastronomic travelers, and they had done all the top restaurants in New York, and this was their last restaurant experience at 11 Madison Park, and from there they were heading back to the airport and going back, and so he was helping out and attending the table, and heard them say that they were not able to have a what I would call the New York version of Greek souvlaki. So it's it's your New York street dog or hot dog, right? And they haven't had that, and they were really like, they were like, oh, and we're going and we don't. So we actually they went out and went to one of these stands and bought a few of these New York hot dogs, came back, and just picture this, right? Standing in the kitchen of this 3 Michelin star restaurant, talking to your head chef and saying, hey, we got these hot dogs, can you nicely plate them with a bit of mustard and a bit of ketchup and make it look good? And you see the chef go like, oh, what is this? And to cut a long story short, they then served these. And they were just blown away, right? And it's this 5% where the magic comes to life. It doesn't have to cost you any money, but it's really that connection, giving it that purpose. And I'm sure that if you would connect with these people now, they would not remember any of the dishes they had eaten at 11 Madison Park, but they'd remember that hot dog. And I think it's kind of I was prepared for the American-Greek relationships here. So I thought that really defines it very well for me.
Very well said. Vision, connections, hospitality, design, but how about business? ROI with soul. So what do you think? Can profit and purpose coexist?
I would rather say they must, and I think this has fully converted into that you need purpose in order to really be really be profitable. It's actually an enabler. We at Design Hotels call it return on investment, return on imagination. It's going out, making it real, making it sticky for people that stay with you. And purpose in that sense gives emotional longevity, and that's really what you need to. So I would say it's not just that it goes hand in hand. It has become one of the key drivers of making your business have a better return on investment. I think we can all agree, and we talked before about the new generations. They don't look for cookie cutter experiences anymore, unless maybe a destination where they don't trust so much in the level of hospitality, and they look for security, right? I'm taking I look for a certain level of security. So let me shift, Kάλια. I'm gonna turn this around now. So when I think of Greece, there's obviously this, I would say iconic raw material, if I can say that as a chef's expression. Amazing architecture, landscaping. There's history that many are jealous of. What does for you design mean in the context of a destination that's already visually so strong, and how do you extract new stories?
That's such a powerful question, Stijn. That's actually the real paradox of Greece. We have this incredible abundance of beauty. Beauty is everywhere. Light, architecture, the sea, the heritage, the people. And yet, that very abundance cannot help us show Greece beyond the surface. For me, design in Greece is not about adding more layers of that beauty, rather than being able to edit the beauty. It's about creating space for meaning to come through. We try to strip away what's expected, the cliches of this immaculate beauty of the whitewashed walls and the blue domes, and focus on how that place makes you feel. In Greece and at Empiria Group, we need to talk more about that emotional hospitality, about design that reflects the rhythm of the real Greek life, the slowness of a shared meal, how we Greeks do it, the warmth of this human connection that we know very well, and the balance between tradition and modern life. We heard a bit more in the previous panels. That's where the real story, that's where the real narrative of Greece stands. And it's not in a postcard, it's the real pulse of life. So for us, design becomes more of a form of a storytelling that honors the landscape, but also the people, the gestures, and that quiet time, the rituals that make our country look timeless and makes it a pulse for global travelers to visit and feel. Okay, we talked about business, we talked about some of the Greek cliches. So now we need to move forward, understand more about the different generations of travelers, the younger travelers, the ones that they seek that more emotional resonance, maybe a bit more than our generation. So our hotels are the new cultural venues, the new cultural hubs for wellness retreats, and can they work as social incubators? Can design hotels in Greece especially evolve that hub of local creativity, food, art, and design into something, and sustainability, into something more meaningful, rather than, pure hotels and hospitality?
Absolutely, I love the connection with this morning on the first session with your Prime Minister, where the connection was made from everything we hear on AI and then connecting it to EI, and it's that human-centric value, and of course AI will be there as an enabler, I always think, and will help us, but at the end of the day it will free up time to have more, more emotional connections. I think what we see is that the next generations don't consume culture as such, but they really want to connect with it. And I think our hotels have a massive opportunity, because if you look everything that's so online, you see people are, the next generations, unfortunately, seem to be more lonely than we used to be, right? We heard before, and I also have a few teenage daughters at home. They don't watch TV like we used to do. They get so many impulses. Everything is here and there and now, and I think that's also why it connects so much to mental health, to some of these different topics that now come up, and which was not the way that we saw some of them. So, to my opinion, the best hotels they really serve as cultural platforms. And I think as much as I say that we see the new generation being more lonely because everything is online, we're also starting to see a lot of movement of things that start online, that move online. And there we did a survey actually last year at this point, more or less, where we kind of asked, and the answer was really that the hotels really have a great opportunity, because youngsters feel comfortable in going to hotels and connecting if there's a purpose to it. If there's maybe something that they would connect to online is brought offline. There's a story about an online chess club that then kind of got converted. Another example is a dating online that then goes offline, but I leave that for another session. So, Kάλια, shifting to exploring hospitality that adapts to real human needs: slowness, safety, meaning, and connection. What does human-centric mean when you're creating spaces for digital nomads, remote workers, and Gen Z travelers and luxury explorers?
When we talk about human-centric hospitality, it starts with empathy. We really need to ask ourselves, why do people come and visit our country? Why they come to our hotels? What they truly need, not what we give them, but what do they need? In Greece, again, because of that lack of abundance, it's much more than just a comfortable bed, which of course is very important, but we have so many things we can give, and that's slowness, the safety, that sense of belonging, connection. Whether it's a Gen Z traveler looking for community, whether it's a remote worker looking for some rituals and focus, whether it's this sophisticated traveler that is seeking for meaning and calm, we try to design everything for their emotional needs first. The furniture, the views, the architecture, the design, all are very important, but they're secondary. What matters more is how we make them feel. We need to listen deeply to understand to their needs and not just offer what we think is best, but try to adapt. So all the rituals, all the ways we connect need to adapt to specific type of travelers, so that when they go back home, they really feel that that was a special piece they took back with them. A most important element for me, Stijn, is what you're doing now with Design Hotels and your new initiative, the Legacy Lab. So you build for the new generation. You do an amazing work for how we, hoteliers, can pass on the legacy to the new generation, and how the new generation can make that legacy shine, sometimes even better than we do it. So what do you do?
So obviously Legacy Lab was actually born out of some feedback that we received from some of our originals during our meeting last year, and we thought, we have so many of our member hotels where the business kind of gets handed over from one generation to the other, and it's such a fast evolving world, as we've kind of heard this morning. So we decided to bring 11 of those next-gen leaders together in Madrid, and had what we called Legacy Lab, and kind of gave them a platform just to express themselves on you know, what is for them really great, the concept of great leadership, what is their definition of resilience, of change management. And I think obviously we come to the conclusion that quite a lot of these definitions have evolved, and there's also some, you know, there's some generational challenges there, in the sense that in our days resilience was that you would never say anything, you would never complain, you just keep on working, and you would kind of whereas in you know, for these people coming new into the business, first of all they have the pressure of, you know, of heritage, of taking something over that was built in a generation or multiple generations before them, and at the same time, you know, their world is much faster. They are the most knowledgeable generation coming up, and there's a lot to learn from in between the generations. So we actually had one of them with us during our conference a few weeks ago, Vasiliki from Minos Art Beach Hotel in Crete, and she's also a strong driver. Out of the 11, coming back out of the 11 next generations we brought together, more than half were Greek. So I think it's another great confirmation of the push of the next generation in this part of the world. And we just, you know, it just brought great debates on how this is changing, how we can understand them better. We often think that before they've done any work, they need to mentally feel well, and we need to tell them 10 times how amazing they are. And before anything gets done, we think they're sometimes maybe, you know, sometimes you hear the word selfish. But at the same time, it's not like that. They're just different things that trigger them. And so we're continuing this conversation, and we really hope that your next generation will be joining us on the next session.
Absolutely, count on me. Thank you very much, Stijn. That has been a very inspirational discussion, and thank you very much for putting design hotels in that level of hospitality that us hoteliers make us feel proud and want to connect with.
I must say our Greek owners community makes it very easy for us. There's so much drive, there's so much real hospitality, and it makes it just really easy for us to really mirror it out there in the world, and you know, give it a global voice, so to speak. So thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to hit our 30-member milestone surely next year. So
thank you both.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you.